China slowdown concerns hit Apple Inc. as the iPhone maker cuts revenue guidance for the first time in 2 decades. In a letter to investors, Apple CEO Tim Cook blamed slowing iPhone sales in China as the biggest reason for the guidance cut. The company has been facing supply constraints as several key suppliers overseas had cut their revenue estimates during the past few months. Apple shares, which had halted trade ahead of the announcement, skidded 7.7% in after-hours trade, dragging the company's market value below $700 billion. Apple is now the highest-profile MNC to warn that the economic slowdown in China could hurt its business.
Meantime, the yen jumped while the Australian dollar plummeted in what strategists and traders said was an apparent flash crash. High-risk aversion triggered the safe haven yen to its highest level since March 2018. The break of key technical levels triggered massive stop-loss sales of the US and Australian dollars in very thin markets. Analysts said the rot began when tech bellwether Apple shocked the investors by cutting its earnings guidance, citing sluggish iPhone sales in China.
And manufacturing gauges across the world stumbled at the end of the last year, starting 2019 with fresh challenges for global growth and central banks. Evidence is mounting that US President Donald Trump's trade war is becoming a greater headwind for producers. The Global Manufacturing Index from JPMorgan Chase Mfg and IHS Markit fell in December to the lowest level since September 2016. 5 Federal Reserve indexes of regional manufacturing all slumped in December, and the first time they've fallen in unison since May 2016. Another gauge of American manufacturing due on Thursday is projected to fall to an 8-month low. The growing pile of weaker data may increase pressure on the Fed to signal an immediate pause in its quarterly pace of interest rate increases.
Growth slowdown hits China, the central bank steps in to bolster small businesses. The People's Bank of China has decided to ease evaluation rules for lower reserve requirement ratios. In a move to encourage inclusive financing, PBOC says financial institutions can deposit less in the central bank as reserve money if they lend a certain share of their loans to small and micro firms.
And a meeting between US congressional leaders and President Donald Trump yielded no signs of development on government shutdown. Partial government shutdown is now in its 12th day as the president stuck to his demand for a border wall. Congressional leaders are expected to return to White House on Friday to resume talks, signaling the shutdown will likely stretch into the weekend.
The US President mocks Indian PM Narendra Modi for funding a library in Afghanistan, suggesting it was of no use. Defending his push for the US to invest less overseas, Trump says Indian leader was constantly telling me he built a library in Afghanistan. Expressing dissatisfaction over India's role in the Afghanistan peace process, he asks the regional countries, including India, Russia and Pakistan, to fight the Taliban in the war-torn country.
And Russia's oil production reached a post-Soviet high in 2018. Even though Russia coordinated supply with the OPEC countries, the output was up 1.6% from the 2017 levels. Oil output for Russia in 2018 averaged 11.16 million barrels a day, which compares with an all-time high of 11.416 million barrels a day in 1987.